Welcome to AuthorTube. Wow, thanks for dropping by. I'm Colin R. Parsons, children's author, or you know me as children's author. I've got a load of books behind me in the different genres of sci-fi, fantasy, supernatural and steampunk. And I've been writing these books for years, about 15 years actually. Initially when I first started out, I used to write short stories. And they were adult stories, and they had adult themes in them. And I used to send them off to magazines, mostly women's magazines if I'm honest, around the time. Maybe Woman, Woman's Own, The People's Friend, Bella, that kind of thing. I actually got rejected by them all. But then I eventually got into writing children's books. Started with Wizard's Kingdom, and then I went on from there, and I did a few different series, and I started off self-published, and I ended up with traditional publishing deals. Well, I've got a big announcement just for AuthorTube, and the announcement is that I'm still going to be writing children's books, but I've taken to writing adult crime fiction. I've always wanted to do it, and I'm going to be doing it in a series. Now, a couple of years ago I wrote a book called Ghosted. It was like a children's teen crossover book, and it was all about these 4 children, and they lost their souls to the land of the dead, and they needed someone to help them get their souls back so they could get back to the land of the living. They were kind of in limbo, and there was a character called Killian Spooks. He was a supernatural, and he was trying to help them get their souls back and get them back home to their families. Well, what I've done, I've taken Killian Spooks, who was a supernatural, out of Ghosted, and I've put him into an adult setting. I've got him as like a private eye, a wizard private eye. I've turned him from a supernatural into a wizard, and he's like a private detective wizard, and he helps the police with all their supernatural and crime cases that they can't solve or haven't got the time to do. And it's going to be called Killian Spooks Mysteries. Now, I've written down the titles of the different books that I'm writing. They're not going to be huge books. They're going to be about 40,000 words, which is kind of not bad. It's something you can pick up and enjoy and have a read of. Killian Spooks Mysteries, I'm initially starting off with 3 books. The first one is called Spirit Jumper, which I've actually sent off to a publisher. The second one I've completed called Phantom Thief. And the third one I'm actually on at the moment is called Strange Happenings. Now, there's going to be a couple more. A few more. There's going to be Night Bites, Head Count, Digital Demon, and I think I'm going to finish off with Replicant. So I'm going to be doing, like I said, adult crime fiction, and the thing is with that is that I can explore the boundaries. When I'm doing my children's books, I can only push it so far with graphic violence and with language and that kind of thing. But with adult crime, you can go over the boundaries. You can, I don't know, have adult themes in there of maybe sex scenes, that kind of thing, violent graphic scenes as well, and a little bit more kind of gritty horror and action. So Killian Spooks Mysteries is going to be by a slightly different author. I'm going to use a pen name, or a nom de plume, or what do they call it, a pseudonym. So I won't be called Colin R. Parsons for my adult crime fiction novels. I've chosen a special name for that. There's a lot of authors do that kind of thing, because I don't want children reading my adult crime fiction stuff. I just wanted to read the children's book that I write, which I will still be writing children's books. So what name have I chosen then? Well, when I was a kid, I loved westerns, because there were a lot of cowboy films on, cowboys and Indians, that kind of thing, and you had sheriffs and battles, and you had cavalry and all that kind of thing. And there was always like a kind of a gunslinger called Jake. So I've taken Jake, and he was normally the good, maybe cowboy, perhaps now and again he was a bad cowboy, I don't know, but I've taken Jake. And I also loved a series of on TV when I was a kid, with a comedy duo called Laurel and Hardy. You probably know Laurel and Hardy if you're of a certain age. And Laurel and Hardy, they were brilliant comedy duo. They did lots of films, they did lots of series, lots of episodes on TV. Well, they did a film called Way Out West, which is kind of linking to the Jake thing. Now, in Way Out West, there is a song in the middle of the story, and it's called The Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, which they sing in a bar, and it became a hit. It was, I think it was in the top 10 or something years and years ago. So what I've done, I've got the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. I've taken Ridge and Jake, put them together, and now I've got Jake Ridge. So Jake Ridge will be my adult crime fiction name for my novels. So if I can get a publisher to take on this series, Killian Spooks Mysteries, and like I said, the first one is Spirit Jumper. Spirit Jumper will be by Jake Ridge. So if you see those books coming out, you know that it's still Colin R. Parsons, but writing for an adult audience. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this for years. I decided to announce it on AuthorTube and let you in on the news. I'm quite excited. I'm hoping to get a publishing deal for it. And that's what I'm waiting on at the moment, but I'm writing the books in the meanwhile. So like I said, I've sent one off to a publisher. I've got the second one written, and I'm kind of attacking the third one. Once I get that done, I'll hopefully get on to the fourth and fifth. We're on lockdown, so I'm spending a lot more time writing. And I'm using lots of different scenarios. Some of the formulas that I used for my children's books, but put them in a more graphic version for my adult crime fiction. So that's my announcement. Thank you very, very much for dropping by my AuthorTube video. I'll see you all soon, and keep an eye out for Killian Spooks Mysteries with this new wizard detective and all the series, all the cases he's going to take on, and hopefully it'll be a successful run. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye now.